Okay, I'm going to talk to you today about hypothyroidism. Next. I'm talking about this because I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism when I was a senior in high school. I just went to my doctor and got some routine lab work done, and my levels were way far out of range. And so I went to a specialist called an endocrinologist and got the treatment that I needed. So, next. In this speech, I'm just going to talk about what hypothyroidism is, what the symptoms are, and how it is treated. Next. So, the thyroid gland is a gland that's right here in the front of your neck. It's a butterfly-shaped gland. And hypothyroidism is defined as when the thyroid gland fails to produce essential hormones called T3 and T4. It also upsets the normal chemical reactions that happen in our bodies. Next. We learn about what hypothyroidism is in a physiology textbook called Principles of Human Physiology by Cindy Stanfield. It was published in 2005. Any person of any age can get hypothyroidism, but women who are over the age of 60 are particularly at risk. It is often called by an autoimmune disease. In my case, the doctors think that I got a virus that attacked my thyroid and now is non-functioning. So the hormones, like I mentioned before, are T3 and T4, and these hormones do a lot with the functions of our body. Some of the things that they do are they control how many calories our bodies burn, they control part of our heartbeat and our body temperature, they control how fast our food moves through our digestive tract, they control our muscle strength, and also how quickly our body replaces cells that have died. So next, now that I've explained what hypothyroidism is, I'll kind of explain the signs and symptoms that are associated with the disease. We learn about these symptoms on MayoClinic.com. The Mayo Clinic staff published an article in 2012, and it explains some of these symptoms. Some examples are fatigue, unexplained weight gain, sensitivity to cold, slowed heart rate, muscle weakness, enlarged thyroid gland, which is also called a goiter, and there's also a lot of other symptoms. Every person's different, every case is different, depending on how severe the disease is and how out of range your hormone levels are. Next. And although this disease can be life-changing, it can also really easily be treated. Most doctors prescribe oral medications. It's a pretty simple process. Most physicians will prescribe levothyroxine or Synthroid. And these medications have some pretty strict guidelines and recommendations. Physicians say that you should take the pill early in the morning as soon as you wake up, and they also say that you should take it before an hour or half an hour before you eat breakfast. And that is because this medication will bind to foods and it will bind to supplements such as iron and not get into the bloodstream and affect the body that it needs in the way that it needs to. And the treatment is oftentimes lifelong, and it takes a long time to pinpoint the exact dose for each specific person. Every person's really different, and it takes a long time to get that perfect dose that each person needs. Next. And just in conclusion, hypothyroidism is one of the more common chronic diseases that we see in the U.S., and a lot of times it goes undiagnosed. People don't realize that they have it. So my hope is that Now that I told you some of the symptoms and the signs that we see with the disease, my hope is that you'll be able to recognize it in yourself or in loved ones, and then they can get the treatment that they need.